60s. Tomorrow, maybe a little rain in the afternoon with highs around 87. We'll be right back.
Tyler Perry, he's not one to hold back on just about anything. And now this morning, he's live on GMA.
Are you ready to go?
It's Tyler Perry live this morning on Good Morning America.
Goose River Farm and Meat Store is conveniently located on Route 3 across from Hammond Lumber in Belfast. They have a wide selection of meat and poultry, including beef, pork, lamb, chicken, duck, rabbit, and turkey. Open Tuesday through Saturday.
Hi, I'm Barry Gass, and my grandfather started Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear right here in Orono in 1911. Just after World War II, my father ran the business for decades. Now, with my wife and wonderful staff, we are continuing the tradition of bringing the American West to Maine. Our authentic Western boots are handcrafted for comfort, style, work, and casual wear. Saddle up with our premium selection of top quality saddles. Top it off with the perfect hat from classic to modern ranch. Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear in Orono, where the American West comes alive in Maine.
It's Judge Judy's greatest hits with classics like
That's ridiculous. That's a lot of baloney.
Judge Judy
on ABC 7.
You're not going to want to miss this.
Jeopardy, like the Everest of trivia.
Spit and truth therapy.
You gotta feel smart if you wanna look smart. Dress smart, be smart, think smart, talk smart, eat smart. You are smart, smarty pants.
You got to unleash the power.
Woo!
This week at 7:30, only on ABC 7.
Welcome back, everyone. After nearly 6 years in operation, a downtown Bangor business has closed its doors. Queen City Cinema Club is shutting down. It is shutting down. The owners posted the news on Facebook on Sunday. A portion of the post reads in part, quote, "We gave it absolutely everything we had. We made great friends, had great times, and saw some great bands, but now it's time for us to give back to ourselves and stop sacrificing our physical and mental health on a daily basis." We reached out to the owners, and they say the closure is effective immediately.
And another Bangor business is saying goodbye. A beloved gift shop in the city closed its doors Saturday after almost 40 years. Our Callie Warren takes us to Rebecca's.
Rebecca's gift shop has occupied space at 43 and 45 Main Street in Bangor for decades. But on Saturday, the owners of the store will close the doors for one last time as they prepare for retirement. Rebecca's opened in 1985 as a shop selling handmade goods and Christmas artifacts year-round. Employees say it's hard to bid farewell.
You know, everything has to come to an end, I guess, and this is definitely an end of an era.
Almost everything in the store is on sale, and as items disappear from the shelves, customers reminisce on a community pillar.
I'm happy for them. They're going to go have a happy retirement, I hope, and they are leaving us with a big hole in our hearts.
For the titular Rebecca herself, who co-owns the store with her husband, it's a bittersweet end to a long-running chapter.
We don't look like we used to look.
Before Rebecca's gift shop and after Rebecca's gift shop.
Yeah.
Hello.
She says the hardest goodbye is to the shop's longtime clientele, who owners have come to view as close friends.
To our clientele and customers, just a huge, huge thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We wouldn't have been here this long without them. They really have become friends.
In Bangor, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, meanwhile, local artists took to the streets of Bangor on Saturday for the city's annual Sidewalk Art Festival. Callie Warren also takes us there.
Dancing, live music, and handmade goods were the central focus of Bangor's Sidewalk Art Festival. And over 100 vendors lined the streets to offer handcrafted pieces from jewelry to fiber art.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The event serves as a way to get the Bangor community immersed in the local arts scene while supporting small businesses and nearby artisans.
To come to this festival just to enjoy your community, enjoy downtown Bangor, the space, and all the art that's being created today. It's amazing. I love seeing it.
The art festival offered a variety of programming, including a live bench carving,
You can see the beginning of it, but basically I've roughed it out now with my big saw, but it's going to be a lobster on both ends, basically holding the bench with his claws. Some people pretty much see it right away and they're like, oh, I see what it is, totally. And other people are like, what is it?
Local artists say the Sidewalk Art Festival gives them a chance to showcase their passions.
It's amazing to be able to put your art out there and kind of be seen and show all your hard work that you put in, especially in those like spring and winter months when you're just working alone in your studio or crafting by yourself.
Artists do it not for money. It's for fun. It's what I enjoy in my spare time. It's relaxing, and I really gives me a creative freedom.
For more information on events in downtown Bangor, visit our website at foxbangor.com. In Bangor, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Yeah, I hope people made a lot of money and got some new pieces for their homes. All right, the time now, 6:19. After the break, Hurricane Beryl has strengthened into a Category 1 storm. This as it makes its way to the Texas coast.
We'll hear all about it, plus your local weather forecast coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
When Rowell's Garage in Dover Foxcroft wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance.
I got certified as a crash reconstructionist in 2005. I've investigated 150 crashes. 90% of those are speed related.
Vehicle rolled over several times.
When vehicles approach 30 miles an hour over the speed limit, the injuries start getting more serious to the point of being fatal. It's scary how fast someone's life can be altered forever just by driving a little bit too fast. The old adage is speed kills. It is absolutely the case.
Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pequot region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority. And with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, Milo.
Overnight, Hurricane Beryl strengthened once again to a Category 1 hurricane, marching towards the Texas coast.
Residents on edge as the storm's strength and sustained winds continue to grow ahead of making landfall this morning. ABC's N. Wynn is tracking it all for us from Washington.
Overnight, Storm Beryl re-intensifying into a Category 1 hurricane before making landfall over South Texas. Residents bracing for torrential rain and damaging winds.
It will be a deadly storm for people who are directly in that path.
Beryl's sustained winds increasing to 80 miles per hour. Storm surge warnings in effect with up to 7 feet of surge possible over regular tide levels.
I always take it seriously, man. We live along the coast.
Some residents urged to get out as others hunker down, boarding up their homes and businesses.
Just boarding up, protecting this glass in case we get a little bit too much wind.
Experts say Beryl's explosive growth into an unprecedented storm so early in the season was fueled by the Atlantic's record warmth. The storm passing through the Caribbean days ago on its way to Texas, causing at least 11 deaths, ripping off roofs and destroying buildings, many still reeling from the devastation.
You found that other essential services is critical at this point in time.
Everything was just flying all over the place. You're looking at a tank full of water, and this thing is lift that up and have it swollen in the air. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Beryl expected to bring 15 inches of rain across parts of Texas, many wary of power outages and downed trees. Remnants of the storm also set to impact the nation's heartland later this week with flooding and possible twisters. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Boy, I was just down in Texas about a week ago, and where I live there, some of the lakes there are growing empty. They've had such drought conditions down there, so they could certainly use the rain. Probably not that much at one time, but you know, hopefully everybody will be okay there.
Of course, there's risks for flash flooding as well when it's that dry and it all comes that quickly.
Not good. It's been a deadly, deadly storm.
Right. So. All right, the time now is 6:23.
Good news in our weather department. Let's get a full look at our forecast.
And our main weather this morning is brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono for the best prices on trailers, campers, tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, where New England's largest selection meets unbeatable prices. All right, let's get right into that. We got some significant weather to talk about, starting out by Hurricane Category 1, Beryl, making its way into Texas. It's about to make landfall pretty much at the moment. So please, if you do have family out there, make sure they are doing okay and they hopefully prepared for what is still to come, and that is a lot of rain and still some gusty winds. Now, Category 1, that's going to continue to move north. As it does, it's going to become a tropical storm, tropical depression very quickly, especially in the next 24 hours. As it stays on land, it's not going to get that fuel to keep it going. Now, all over the U.S., though, pretty active weather pattern. The Midwest, upper Midwest, they've seen so much rain, almost three times as much rainfall as they should be getting the last 3 months, where Mississippi River is flooded right by Illinois, and it continues to go south, and more rain is going to continue to make those levels higher and higher in those rivers. Now, for us, though, we're going to be dealing with our own active weather pattern the next several days besides today. Today's going to be that day where we're really going to see just lots of sunshine. It is really going to be hot, folks, so please make sure you have your sunscreen, drink your water as well. Now, look at all this rain. This is just within the next 5 to 6 days. Some places, possibly around 4 inches of rain. So a lot of rainfall, mainly the southern half of the state, the northern half of the state. We're going to see a lot less rain, especially with Beryl. It has to go somewhere, right? And it does look like it's going to make its way closer to our area, the northeast, maybe by the end of this week. We'll see how things go. But by then, it's just going to be a low pressure system. Now, temperature-wise, we should be at 80 degrees. We're going to be well above average the next few days, slightly below average on Thursday, and then right back up to well above average temperatures back in those mid to upper 80s, and that's going to happen Friday, Saturday into Sunday. For today, though, mostly sunny. It's going to be hot. Temperatures around 88 degrees. For tonight, though, mid 60s, partly cloudy skies, a little bit of patchy fog will be in the area as well. For tomorrow, mid to upper 80s. Afternoon, chances of showers and thunderstorms. Our extended forecast outlook is showing rain starting Tuesday into Wednesday, but still falling Thursday into Friday.
It's time to bring the family and friends to Fort Knox. One of the best preserved and most accessible Civil War forts in the nation is right in our backyard, just off Route 1 across from Bucksport. Open every day, May through October, rain or shine. Check our website for details.
I was hurt in a bad motorcycle accident. I tried to handle it on my own, but I could tell quickly I was in way over my head. The other driver's insurance company was very difficult to work with. That's why I decided to call Joe. Smartest move I ever made. I went from being completely overwhelmed with doctor's appointments and medical bills to feeling normal again. Joe Bornstein's office took care of everything. I was completely satisfied with the outcome. I wish I'd called sooner.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Hank's Husqvarna is your trusted full-line Husqvarna dealer, offering you everything you need for your outdoor projects. From high-performance lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, battery-powered and powerful snow blowers, we have just what you need. Every piece of equipment is fully set up, serviced, and ready for use by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or new equipment sales, make your way to Hank's Husqvarna in Carmel or Newport.
Welcome to 207 Collectibles, your ultimate destination for all things collectible and gaming, where every dream comes true and a little magic is always in stock. Whether you're looking for vintage video consoles or games, Pokemon, D&D, Magic cards, NASCAR collectibles, board games, or even Funkos, we've got it all. Come visit 207 Collectibles. Your collection is our passion.
Did you know that the Penobscot Narrows Bridge Observatory is the tallest in the world, with the fastest elevator in New England and 360-degree views from 420 feet up? Open every day, May through October. Check our website for details.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. This morning, more Democrats calling for President Joe Biden to step aside and withdraw from the presidential race. Now, at least 4 senior Democrats in Congress are publicly calling on the president to quit. This morning, lawmakers are returning from their 4th of July holiday as more Democrats raise concerns about President Biden's candidacy. In the House, several top Democrats are now privately saying Biden should withdraw from the race. 5 other Democrats in Congress have also publicly called for Biden to drop out. The pressure comes after the president's debate performance and his interview Friday with George Stephanopoulos.
Most vending machines sell candy or soda, but one with a very targeted product, and that's powered by AI, is making headlines in the South. A grocery store in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, is the first to remove a kiosk that sells ammunition, as the city council considered the vending machine's legality. The vending machine is made by American Rounds, which says it uses artificial intelligence and facial recognition technology to match buyers of the ammo with their ID cards. The company says the novel way of selling ammo for shotguns, pistols, and rifles will reduce theft and increase safety. A manager at the Tuscaloosa store that removed the machine says it was not because of the city council meeting, but because of a lack of sales. The city has since verified that the vending machines are legal, and while many are enthusiastic about the kiosks, critics are taking aim online.
No pun intended. Well, maybe pun was intended.
Right, kind of seems like a PR stunt to me.
Yeah.
Okay, coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll talk about firearms safety on that note with a local company that teaches about responsible gun ownership.
That and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience, with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Irish Collision Center is dedicated to quality collision repairs. Quality means Irish Collision Center stands by their work. Quality means they'll provide a written work guarantee for as long as you own your vehicle. Quality means a fast turnaround. Whether it's a fender bender or major repairs, Irish Collision Center is your collision specialist, and they're easy to find within 2 miles of exit 157. Schedule your free estimate today. Irish Collision Center, Maine's #1 choice for quality.
At North Ellsworth Auction Company, we understand the value of heirlooms, whether collected or inherited. With 150 years of combined experience, let our experts handle your estates. Join us every 2nd and 4th week of the month for our live auctions. North Ellsworth Auction Company, your trusted partner in finding new homes for your treasures.
Welcome to the Purple Baboon, a local gem on the Belfast waterfront. Find lots of little joys for every taste, like fun clothing for the whole family and a lovely selection of coastal Maine-made jewelry. The Purple Baboon, the best selection at great prices, 31 Front Street, Belfast.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Monday, July 8th, 2024. It is also National Video Game Day.
This is a day to dust off that old Nintendo and haul your prized collection of video games from the closet. Video games have exploded with popularity over the past few decades, and they're not just for kids, as we know. They're a great way to blow off steam and take a break from reality. And with over 5 million games in existence, there's really something for everyone, whether you're PC or PlayStation or Xbox or on and on, or Switch.
I grew up with them myself. I still play video games every now and then.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny over the weekend. My nephew was visiting and we were going to pressure wash my dad's house. And I asked him, I was going to let him pressure wash. I'm like, have you ever pressure washed before? And he says, only in a video game. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I guess there is a video game where you can download and you do nothing but pressure washing.
Right.
And so he was an expert. He did a great job. And so anyway, yeah, it is. It's a great thing. You know, you got a few minutes, you have a bad day, just kind of take a break, blow up some things, whatever.
Yeah.
Pressure wash some things.
Nothing like calming down and chilling out by going home and blowing some stuff up.
There you go.
Yeah.
I do it too. All right, time for some history. On this day in history, back in 1777, the state of Vermont adopted its constitution and became the very first state to abolish slavery. In 1865, 4 of the conspirators in President Abraham Lincoln's assassination were hanged on this date in Washington, D.C. In 1889, the Wall Street Journal issued its first newspaper and has been printing without interruption ever since. And in 1947, a flying saucer crash at Roswell, New Mexico was broadcast on the public television. The first reports were denied by the U.S. military, and then a report appeared saying that they had been lucky enough to obtain one of those discs. The debate whether an alien spacecraft actually landed in Roswell continues to this day, with many believing it was a government cover-up. It was just recently the government came out and says, no, we don't have any aliens there. They're not being stored at Area 51 or any of that stuff. But
not anymore.
Not anymore. They probably brought them somewhere else.
Yeah.
What they're doing, I don't know. And I think they think, I don't know. I'm just not even going to speculate. But.
There's a lot that, there's a lot of stuff that could be going on behind the scenes.
You know, could the public handle it if they were to learn that they're really, that kind of thing.
Right.
So
I could
don't
handle
know.
it.
You could handle it. I want to know. I want to know.
Okay, in 1960, U.S. pilot Gary Powers was shot down while
flying. Sorry, not slying.
Okay, flying a U-2 spy plane over the Soviet Union. He was found guilty of espionage, but was later exchanged for a Soviet spy in American custody. In 1969, the U.S. Patent Office, issued a patent for the game Twister. In 1995, the Sega Saturn video game console was released in Europe following its massive success in Japan and North America. And in 2000, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire was released for the first time on both sides of the Atlantic. And in 2011, the space shuttle Atlantis launched its final mission, wrapping up the 30-year-long space shuttle program. It was the program's 135th and final flight.
Today's birthdays include actor Kevin Bacon, who is 66 years old today. Chef Wolfgang Puck turns 75, and musician Beck turns 54 today.
I wonder what Beck stands for.
I don't know.
I'll have to Google that.
I don't know. I'll have
Is
to
it a
check that out
nickname?
too. I don't really know him. I'm aware of him, but
Yeah,
it wasn't really my genre kind of thing. But I do indeed wish him a sincere happy birthday.
Very nice
So
of you.
hope he has a nice day.
Okay,
So.
well, it's a beautiful day here in central and coastal Maine.
Great day to get out there and go to the beach if you can, or whatever you want to do. You're going to have to find a way to stay cool.
Right, here's Conrad Sapinski with the forecast.
All right, our first weather this morning is brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono for the best prices on trailers, campers, tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, where New England's largest selection meets unbeatable prices. Wow, a pretty good start to the day out there. And hopefully, folks had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. We did see temperatures, for the most part, back in the 80s, and it just felt nice and pleasant for today. Get ready. An abundant amount of sunshine will be back in the forecast. I feel pretty comfortable as well. And then dew points will start to rise by Wednesday morning, especially by Friday morning. Look at that. We are going to see dew points a little bit higher up, pretty much at that very humid level. So for that one day, it's going to feel extremely humid, of course, with some rain showers in the area. And we're talking a lot of rain on the way as well. But that's going to be after today. Now the wind's pretty calm. A couple of spots are maybe around a 5-mile-per-hour breeze. Other than that, everywhere else we're seeing a calm wind, and we will continue to see just a light breeze throughout the day today. Now it's going to be hot and sunny. Perfect combination for a very high UV index, and that's going to be at a 9. So please be careful out there. Stay protected. Put on your sunscreen, and of course, drink your water. For today, though, mostly sunny out there. It's going to be hot. Temperatures around 88 degrees. For tonight, though, partly cloudy. Some fog in the area once again. Temperatures back in those mid-60s. Now, for tomorrow, though, mid to upper 80s. Afternoon chances of showers and even a couple of thunderstorms embedded in there as well. Now, hour-by-hour forecast is showing that big warm-up on the way later on today.
I did the little Google thing, and Beck's name is Beck. His name is Beck.
Oh.
That's it. It's not short for anything.
Oh, okay.
He was born Beck David Campbell. He now goes by Beck David Hansen.
Oh,
so
okay.
there you
Well,
go.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's a name.
Got that all figured out.
Thank you for debunking.
You're welcome.
I really
All right, well, let me
appreciate
fast forward through this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, guns are deeply ingrained into American culture and are often a focal point in political debates. And according to the Pew Research Center, personal protection tops the list of reasons that gun owners give for why they own a firearm. I met with a local firearms training company to learn the major tenets of gun safety. Maine is a constitutional carry state, which means that any Maine resident over the age of 21 who's not otherwise prohibited from owning or being in possession of a firearm is authorized to carry a concealed handgun without a permit.
But when you look at concealed carry and defensive training, you need to seek education in that specific department.
That was Ralph Perkins, the owner of 207 Firearms Training in Lincoln, who left the military in 2012.
Some combat veteran, I bring that experience from service over in Afghanistan to my classes.
He says if you're a beginner and you want to learn how to shoot, there's a lot of room for mistakes.
I think a common mistake made is just people getting into it without seeking knowledge of it first. Like they go in with a basic hunter safety course, which is a great place to start for firearm safety.
According to the CDC, in 2020, there were approximately 27,000 unintentional firearm injuries and 500 unintentional firearm deaths. And Perkins says most unintentional discharges result from violations of certain rules.
The 4 universal safety rules are pretty simple. Rule number 1 is treat all firearms as if they are loaded, right? Rule number 2, don't point the firearm at anything you don't intend to destroy. Rule number 3, keep your finger off the trigger. And rule number 4 is know your target and what's beyond it.
To learn more about 207 Firearms Training, head to their website at 207firearmstraining.us or head to their Facebook page.
Wow.
Yeah, so that data I was talking about with all the unintentional firearm deaths, that makes up a very small fraction, the deaths and injuries from firearms, of course, but there are still sizable amounts of deaths and injuries that happen from people misusing firearms and it being purely accidental. So this is just, you know, there's always conversations to be had about firearms, but this is just scraping the surface.
It could happen to anybody, even the most experienced, most responsible gun owners.
Right.
It only takes a second or two, you know.
Well, there's
for something bad to
discharges that happen on accident, and
Yeah.
then there's discharges that happen because of a fault of the machine,
Sure.
and that occasionally does happen as well.
Yeah, good idea to take that course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I highly suggest it. It was really helpful. Yeah. All right, right after the break, we'll have our sports updates.
Don't go away.
When it comes to the whole home heat pump rebates from Efficiency Maine, there's money on the table for everyone, and the experts at Valley Home Services are here to help you get your share. Even if you received a rebate in the past, you can still take advantage of this program with a new Fujitsu heat pump for your whole house. And no matter your income, there's a rebate for you. Let the folks at Valley Home Services lay out a Fujitsu heat pump plan for you so you can start saving on heating and cooling for your home. Don't leave money on the table. Call Valley Home Services today and get your rebate instantly.
People ask me all the time, are those commercials really true? Does Lowry & Associates really get all of those clients, all of those big settlements? Yes, we do. We really have gotten millions of dollars for Mainers hurt by commercial vehicles. And the insurance companies know when you call the twos, we're gonna fight for you. And you know what else is true? I really am standing on top of this big truck.
Hurt by a big truck? Call the twos. We win for you.
This will be the best summer ever. Good times, good
It's Toyota's Best for Less sales event with vehicles from the longest lasting brand. The brand with best resale value for less. You could get low 4.99 for 60 on an all-wheel drive RAV4 hybrid or gas model, which could save you up to $1,400. Plus, get 2 years no-cost maintenance. The Best for Less sales event at your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Every day of your life.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Dirt biking is a hard to get into sport, largely because of the lack of safe while affordable places to ride. Well, one couple in Waltham is changing that. Take a look.
It's awesome. I mean, it's hard nowadays to find places to ride.
Thankfully for dirt bike aficionados, Waltham's Bill McDonald and Katie Yulee have them covered with their own track in their backyard.
Just something we absolutely love to do. We love watching our friends riding around the track, having fun, and seeing the smiles on their faces.
It started with Yulee's son's love of dirt bikes. To help him practice, Yulee and McDonald built a small track. As interest from others grew, they felt the track needed to as well.
I love doing landscaping stuff, so I thought my landscaping talent would come in handy while out there in the woods raking and pulling rocks to make it a nice rideable track for everyone.
But even then, it wasn't a centerpiece.
It was really just more intention, having some friends over, having a barbecue and having a good time, and hey, we got a track, let's ride the track. And one of my friends to me, it'd be really cool if we had a race.
Now, 7 years later, the track hosts races across summer and fall, while also providing practice time for anyone who wants it.
Just have some people that constantly are like, come on out and come ride at our place. It's awesome. It really can't get much better than that.
And people of all skill levels come out too, even those that have never even touched a bike. They often leave with a new passion.
Helping someone else find something they enjoy to do, that's really important to me, especially fathers that ride with their boys, a grin on their faces ear to ear.
Not only do people leave with a newfound love of riding, but also with friends, which help them fill voids both on and off the track.
Can't tell you how many people I've met through here. It's too many to count. The more people you have, it pushes you really to the next level, and you can do cooler and cooler things with the bikes. It's really fun.
So, how much does it cost to be in a race or just ride around? Nothing. Absolutely free.
We want others to enjoy what we enjoy doing as well, and we don't feel that money needs to be involved.
That's absolutely critical. I don't think money should get in the way of having a good time. It's been a labor of love for us, so the payment for us is seeing others get the enjoyment of the work that we've put in.
Just awesome stuff right there. Let's hit the links now. We've been doing that a lot lately. Saturday morning up at Hidden Meadows Golf Course was the Old Town Orono Hockey Golf Scramble. The annual charity tournament benefits the Old Town Orono Black Bear High School program. This is the 11th edition, and this year they raised nearly $5,000. That's going towards transportation, ice time at rinks, equipment, summer hockey costs, and more. 19 local businesses sponsored holes, and 19 out of a possible 20 teams competed. Of course, this all coming on a holiday weekend. The community certainly loves the program.
It is the 4th of July weekend, so to have 19 out of 20 teams show up and fill it out, that really is good for Old Town and Orono hockey. We appreciate it.
I mean, it means a lot. We're locally supported, so that just shows how people like the hockey programs.
All right, now to the wrestling mat. Friday night marking the last night of the Maine-Nebraska Wrestling Exchange down in Noble, but the fun is not stopping there. In a few weeks, it's the girls' turn. For the first time ever, there will be a girls' Maine-Nebraska High School Wrestling Exchange. A Maine All-Star team will be heading to the Cornhusker State to face two of their All-Star teams in two duels, the first being on the 26th. The top mission, though, continues to be introducing wrestlers to new cultures and new people. Co-director Brian Cody hopes that this and more will come from the girls' first trip.
Giving these girls every opportunity that we can that the boys have in this sport, that's what it's about. Our guys that have gone out on that trip still have friends that they talk to today. 40 years have gone by with this thing. So, I hope the girls can continue to grow and we can support that same kind of friendship series for another 40 years for them.
What a year it's been for girls wrestling in Maine. The first ever team state tournament in February. Oceanside's Maddie Ripley, who will be going to Nebraska, winning overall states for the second straight year, and now this. What Cody hopes Maine girls see from these accomplishments is that wrestling is for everybody.
Male, female, small, short, tall, it don't matter. Like, you can get on the mat and you can wrestle and you can make an impact in your own life, make an impact in your teammates. I'm hoping that the Maine-Nebraska exchange is just one more little piece that gets girls interested in coming out and trying what I believe is the greatest sport.
Okay, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Hi, I'm Barry Gass, and my grandfather started Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear right here in Orono in 1911. Just after World War II, my father ran the business for decades. Now, with my wife and wonderful staff, we are continuing the tradition of bringing the American West to Maine. Our authentic Western boots are handcrafted for comfort, style, work, and casual wear. Saddle up with our premium selection of top quality saddles. Top it off with the perfect hat from classic to modern ranch. Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear in Orono, where the American West comes alive in Maine.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
The day after 4th of July celebrations wrapped up offered some nice beach weather, but with that comes big crowds and the potential for lots of trash left behind.
Mal Meyer reports from Old Orchard Beach, where crews were busy chipping in to pick it up.
July 5th is considered the dirtiest beach day of the year. That's because of the 4th of July fireworks and festivities that draw big crowds. It doesn't take much to find an awful lot.
Last year we had 4 volunteers. We picked up about 500 pounds of trash in 2 hours.
Town crews take away what they can, but that's no match for what gets left behind.
They come down each morning and they clean up what they can, but there's so much kind of under the surface of the sand.
This volunteer effort was organized through the Surfrider Foundation, a national group. It found about half of what they gather all year is picked up on July 5th.
I like to give back to my community, and the environment is important, and this is a good opportunity to do both things at the same time.
It's really important to keep our oceans clean.
Lisa Derrick Druck has helped with similar efforts elsewhere. She's seen bits of trash around, but doesn't think it's intentional.
I have friends who are down in Ocean Park, and so I spend a lot of time on this stretch of beach myself for pleasure.
Paula Slayton says they grab a lot of straws, wrappers, plastic silverware, or containers in cigarette butts.
85% of what we find on the beach is single-use plastic.
She says cutting back on that and making sure you're carrying out what you're bringing to the beach can make a big difference. The town is going to haul away what they found.
It was Mal Meyer reporting.
Clean up after yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Time for a look at our forecast with Conrad Sapinski.
And our main weather this morning is brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono for the best prices on trailers, campers, tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, where New England's largest selection meets unbeatable prices. All right, let's get right into that. We got some significant weather to talk about, starting out by Hurricane Category 1, Beryl, making its way into Texas. It's about to make landfall pretty much at the moment. So please, if you do have family out there, there, make sure they are doing okay and they hopefully prepared for what is still to come, and that is a lot of rain and still some gusty winds. Now, Category 1, that's going to continue to move north. As it does, it's going to become a tropical storm, tropical depression very quickly, especially in the next 24 hours. As it stays on land, it's not going to get that fuel to keep it going. Now, all over the U.S., though, pretty active weather pattern. The Midwest, upper Midwest, they've seen so much rain, almost three times as much rainfall as they should be getting the last 3 months, where Mississippi River is flooded right by Illinois, and it continues to go south, and more rain is going to continue to make those levels higher and higher in those rivers. Now, for us, though, we're going to be dealing with our own active weather pattern the next several days. Besides today, today is going to be that day where we're really going to see just lots of sunshine. It is really going to be hot, folks, so please make sure you have your sunscreen, drink your water as well. Now, look at all this rain. This is just within the next 5 to 6 days. Some places, possibly around 4 inches of rain. So a lot of rainfall, mainly the southern half of the state, the northern half of the state. We're going to see a lot less rain, especially with Beryl. It has to go somewhere, right? And it does look like it's going to make its way closer to our area, the Northeast, maybe by the end of this week. We'll see how things go. But by then, it's just going to be a low pressure system. Now, temperature-wise, we should be at 80 degrees. We're going to be well above average the next few days, slightly below average on Thursday, and then right back up to well above average temperatures back in those mid to upper 80s, and that's going to happen Friday, Saturday into Sunday. For today, though, mostly sunny. It's going to be hot. Temperatures around 88 degrees. For tonight, though, mid 60s, partly cloudy skies, a little bit of patchy fog will be in the area as well. For tomorrow, mid to upper 80s. Afternoon, chances of showers and thunderstorms. Our extended forecast outlook is showing rain starting Tuesday into Wednesday, still falling Thursday into Friday.
When R&K Variety in Hamden wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. R&K Variety is more than just a convenience store, offering fresh cooked meals that don't break the bank, gasoline for your mean machines, or beer and wine so your night is fine. Stop by today.
There are a million excuses to not wear your seatbelt. But none of them are good, because you only have a 50% chance of surviving a crash if you are not wearing your seatbelt.
I'm Lauren Stewart, Director of the Maine Bureau of Highway Safety. Remember, buckle up, no excuses.
We're 8 miles from the easternmost point in the whole United States. First Bell moved here in 1765. Our family's been farming here ever since. Reliable power is essential on the farm. You know, you don't think about the power much until it goes out, and then you realize how much you rely on it. We've been very impressed with the ability of Versant to respond, get the power back on. Versant Power is kind of the silent partner keeping the farm running.
A new deck is a great, affordable way to improve your home or camp. Hammond Lumber Company can help you create the perfect deck for your outdoor space. Visit Hammond's product showroom and explore their extensive range of decking and railing options. Your Hammond sales rep will be happy to help you with your materials and design choices, and Hammond delivers from any of their 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Make this the year you enjoy that new deck you've always wanted. It starts when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
On the first night. What the heck?
A season? Tears in the making.
I'll lose it if I call my mom. I can't call my mom.
You never know what kind of wildlife you'll see when you're a passenger on the Penobscot boat tours. This Independence Day, guests were treated to a very special sight. As Captain Jeff approached the Penobscot Bay just off of Verona Island, the entire group witnessed a large whale breaching the water. As you can see from these photos, they got a pretty great show. After the whale finished performing, the boat tour continued, but what a memory for all that got to see this magical event.
Pretty neat. You don't really see that. That's this close to shore, too, in the Gulf of Maine. Apparently the same day one was spotted by the docks in Castine. They also had one breaching down in Casco Bay as well.
I heard chit-chat about it
yeah.
yesterday. I was at a beach in Castine yesterday, and people were talking about it and keeping an eye out.
So neat. If you're out there kayaking,
yeah,
watch out.
People were, right?
Right.
Yep. All right, well, looks like we're about out of time for now. If you missed anything, you can head to foxbangor.com. We will continue broadcasting for our second hour of Good Morning Maine. That's next on Fox 22.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. We hope you have a great day.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
Welcome to 207 Collectibles, your ultimate destination for all things collectible and gaming, where every dream comes true and a little magic is always in stock. Whether you're looking for vintage video consoles or games, Pokemon, D&D, Magic cards, NASCAR collectibles, board games, or even Funkos, we've got it all. Come visit 207 Collectibles. Your collection is our passion.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota Equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience, with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Irish Collision Center is dedicated to quality collision repairs. Quality means Irish Collision Center stands by their work. Quality means they'll provide a written work guarantee for as long as you own your vehicle. Quality means a fast turnaround. Whether it's a fender bender or major repairs, Irish Collision Center is your collision specialist, and they're easy to find within 2 miles of exit 157. Schedule your free estimate today. Irish Collision Center, Maine's #1 choice for quality.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Rockmount host and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, an employee at Speedway 95 is injured after getting struck by a race car.
Plus, the search continues for an armed and dangerous man in Augusta.
And people gather in Bangor to remember the life of Charlie Howard and his legacy, which lives on today.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday morning. The weekend is
Yes,
over.
It is a Monday.
We thank you for joining us. Some of us had a long long holiday weekend, so we're trying to ease our way back into things a little bit.
With a very good mood, no less.
I'm in
You
a
came
great
back
mood
off the
today. So
that's a green flag when you come back from vacation feeling good.
Yeah, mission
I'm glad.
accomplished. Yeah, it was a nice weekend with my family. I left my voice on vacation.